Hello, students. I hope you are all fine and in good health. So, let me continue my audio lecture discussion from where I left in my previous class. So, that is page number 49. As you see here, it is page number 49. So, let me continue from this particular line. At this point, Gandhi arrived in Champaran. So, when the dispute was going on, and obviously, when the illegal activities were going on related with the landlord system in Bihar, related with the sharecropping incident, at this moment, Gandhiji arrived in Champaran and he was very much eager to know the real cause of this dispute, or rather to say the real cause behind the grievances of the sharecroppers in Champaran. And like a very experienced lawyer, he decided to gather the information, or rather to say, he decided to gather the facts related with this particular dispute or related with this particular problem. So, dear students, let me continue. He began by trying to get the facts. As I already told you, that he was very eager to get the information, he was very much eager to get the real facts behind these particular grievances of the sharecroppers and the exploitation of the sharecroppers. And the sharecroppers are exploited by the ruthless landlords, the zamindars, and the British estate officers. So he wanted to gather all the information as much as he can. First, he visited the secretary of the British Landlords Association. He visited the secretary of the British Landlords Association. The secretary told him that they could give no information to an outsider, and the secretary actually behaved in a very rude manner with Gandhiji and promptly told Gandhiji that he, being an outsider, they won't provide him any information about this local case. Gandhiji answered that he was no outsider. Now, Gandhiji was very much surprised that how in his own country he is an outsider. So he answered back that how I can be an outsider. But sadly, the secretary of the British Landlords Association haven't given him any information as such. Next, Gandhiji called on the British official commissioner of the Tirhut division in which the Champaran district lay. The commissioner reports, Gandhi reports, and here I quote, proceeded to bully me. Bully means harass, and advised me forthwith to leave Tirhut. Now, the result was exactly the same. Just like the secretary of the British Landlords Association was reluctant to talk with him, behaved rudely with him. Similarly, when he went to meet with the British official commissioner of the Tirhut division, that particular official commissioner actually bullied him a lot, sarcastically mocked him a lot, and told Gandhiji that it is better for him to if he leaves this place as early as possible. That means one thing is very clear. When he started to investigate, when he started to probe into the matter deeply and intensely, it seems that he haven't got any sort of help, neither from the secretary of the British Landlords Association on one hand, nor from the British official commissioner posted in the Tirhut division on the other hand. They both discouraged him, gave him no sort of information, and haven't cooperated with him properly. But Gandhiji, he was a man of determination, and that is the reason he haven't quitted. And he decided to be more determined and to search the real grievances, the real cause of the injustice that was being done on the poor peasants or the poor sharecroppers of the Champaran Valley. So let me continue. Gandhiji did not leave. As I told you that he haven't quitted. Instead, he proceeded to Motihari, the capital of Champaran. Now, what he did? Immediately he proceeded to Motihari, and Motihari was the capital of Champaran. Several lawyers accompanied him. He was not alone. When he went to Motihari, the capital of Champaran, he was being followed by some other lawyer friends also. They also accompanied him. At the railway station, a vast multitude greeted him. A vast multitude means a large number of people greeted him, because by this time he became a very popular figure. And by this time he became like a messiah to all those poor sharecroppers, and they all gathered around him, and they all were very much eager and interested to fight it out along with him, because after a long time, to be very honest, dear students, they found a leader in the form of Gandhiji. He went to a house and used it as a headquarters, continued his investigations. Okay, so he posted in a house, he went to a house, and there he decided to use that house as a headquarter, and decided to start on his investigation, on his quest for justice from that particular place. A report came in that a peasant had been maltreated. Maltreated, dear students, the nearest meaning of this word is molested, physically molested, maltreated in a nearby village. So, when he posted himself in that particular house and used it as a headquarter, at that time he got an information, a very tragic, or rather to say, a very unfortunate incident happened. A peasant had been molested or maltreated. So he went to uh, go and visit that peasant who had been molested or maltreated. So I repeat this line, dear students. A report came in that a peasant had been maltreated in a nearby village. Gandhiji decided to go and see. Now, Gandhiji decided to visit that peasant. He decided to go and see what is the exact condition of that peasant. The next morning, he started out on the back of an elephant. So, the next morning, he went to visit that peasant. He started on an elephant ride. He started on the back of an elephant, or as I told, he went on an elephant ride to see the condition of the peasant. So I repeat, the next morning, he started out on the back of an elephant. He had not proceeded far when the police superintendent's messenger overtook him and ordered him to return to town in his carriage. But he haven't proceeded far when the police superintendent's messenger came and told him to return back to town in his carriage. Gandhiji complied. He agreed. The messenger drove Gandhi home, where he served him with an official notice to quit Champaran immediately. So after he reached his headquarters once again, because he was been stopped midway by a police official messenger, and after he reached the headquarters once again, he was been given a short notice, or rather to say, he was been given a letter. A message has been written in that, and what message is written? Not a good one. That instead of cooperating with him, it seems that the British government is very much eager to get rid of him from that place, because they knew it very well that he is a very rational sort of a person, and he can actually guide and manipulate the peasants and turn them against the empire. So they had a feeling regarding this. So he had been served a notice that he should immediately leave Champaran. Gandhi signed a receipt for the notice and wrote on it that he would disobey the order. But Gandhiji is also very clever, very rational. In a very polite manner, he received it, and at the back of it, he had written that he decided to disobey. He decided to disobey the order, and then he returned the that particular receipt with the notice or the message back to the police messenger. In consequence, Gandhiji received a summon to appear in court the next day. So obviously, since he decided to disobey, so he was being called to the court the next day. Official judicial inquiry was been started, rather to say, an official judicial inquiry against him started, and he was being called or summoned to the court the next day. All night, Gandhi remained awake. Why? Because he was terribly anxious what might be the outcome of this incident. He telegraphed Rajendra Prasad to come from Bihar with influential friends. Okay, so what he did immediately, he telegraphed Rajendra Prasad to come from Bihar immediately with some powerful, influential lawyers. He sent instructions to the ashram. He wired a full report to the viceroy. Not only that, to his own ashram, he has given a full information. The entire information he has given to his ashram, to his ashram also. And not only that, he even wired a full report, full scape report, the entire report in an elaborate manner. he has given to the viceroy so that the viceroy can also look over the matter. Morning found the town of Motihari black with peasants, because obviously by this time the news spread already that Gandhiji would be arrested. So the peasants, they came in large numbers. They did not know Gandhi's record in South Africa, because Gandhiji did a miracle already in South Africa, where he united many people to fight against the cruel law. So they were unaware of that exploit, or rather to say, they were unaware of the triumph of Gandhiji back in South Africa. So, unaware of that, they all gathered around him to support him. They had merely heard that a Mahatma who wanted to help them was in trouble with the authorities. Only the peasants, only they got to know that Mahatma or Gandhiji was in trouble and he needed some help, he needed some aid, or he needed some assistance because he was in trouble with the authorities. So they came in large number to support him. Their spontaneous demonstration in thousands around the courthouse was the beginning of their liberation from fear of the British. Exactly, that is what Gandhiji wanted them. And as I told you, dear students, he wanted the peasants, he wanted the sharecroppers to be free from fear. And the revolt or the rebellion started. So I repeat this line: their spontaneous demonstration in thousands. They came in large numbers and they went on protesting against the injustice of the landlord system in Bihar, for which Gandhiji was the main champion. He came to actually eradicate or exterminate the problem of the peasants. And so they go on doing spontaneous demonstrations in large number around the courthouse. And it can be suggested that this is the beginning of their freedom. Liberation means liberty, or in other words, it means freedom. So it was the beginning of their liberation from fear of the British. This is the beginning. This is the beginning for a greater cause. This is the beginning of their fear. I mean, this is the beginning of their fearless mentality, because previously they used to be very much scared of the British Empire. But this is the beginning of their liberation from fear of the British. And it started from this particular incident. And slowly and slowly it gathered momentum. So dear students, in this audio presentation, I stop here. In my next audio lecture, I will continue from page number 50 from the next paragraph. Dear students, kindly go through, listen very carefully to this audio presentation. And if there is any doubt, please let me know. Thank you, students. Thank you all.